What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Today I'm talking about the OG of OG podcasts or web shows. I'm talking about Wine Library TV, a show hosted by Gary Vaynerchuk, somebody who's exploding on social media recently with all of his words of wisdom and entrepreneurial guidance and just fuck all the old ways of doing things. Here's how he does it. This is way before all of that, where he was doing a little wine show to help promote his website or his parents' business, Wine Library TV, where he would review different wines. Very simple idea. I first heard about him and his show. I was watching Dignation, which was another podcast way back in the day. And heard about Gary V and Wine Library TV. And I was never into wine, but, I figured I'd check it out. Maybe I'll get into wine and enjoy it more. And the way Gary would describe wines and break wines down, it wasn't it wasn't pretentious with his descriptions of smells and tastes. He used examples like it smells like the eraser from when I was in first grade, or it has like the taste of this bubble gum that I got in a baseball card when I was a kid. So he had very unique ways of explaining and expressing the differences in the different wines, which was good. And he had high energy. I mean, he was one of those people where you get addicted to whatever he's addicted to because of the passion in which he talks about it. And, he started it back in 2006. This is way before YouTube, way before podcasts, way before iPods. Maybe not way before, but, before those times, where it was basically he had a little video on his website that he hosted himself and, did episodes from there on. And then YouTube became big, and then he became big and grew his parents' business into a multi-million-dollar business. And then went out and kind of decided to share his words of wisdom and his knowledge in book form, writing The Thank You Economy and another book that I'm not thinking of right now, which I listened to both audiobooks of back in the day. Big inspiration as far as understanding that the rules that used to be are no more. And how social media and technology has really opened up the ability for anybody to do anything in a lot of ways. It makes it the barrier to entry to do almost anything has been lowered, whether it's making music like SoundCloud artists or YouTube shows, or your own network like Revision 3 or Death Squad or the Inspired Disorder Collective. Like the rules do not apply anymore, right? There's never been any rules. Like, we all live with a certain set of rules, and it's just things that we all kind of agree on. But my belief is that there's a million ways to do any given thing. And there's no right or wrong way. There's just ways people have proven that it works, and other ways that maybe doesn't work as easy. And Gary Vaynerchuk is one of those guys that wants to help people succeed. And Wine Library TV was where it all started. And it's a show, I mean, he did 1,000 episodes. He released 1,001 episodes, fairly recently. I don't know how long ago he stopped, but you can kind of tell from the just overall just quality of video. Just the technology that he uses to film the show got better over the years, but the newest one is clearly a jump ahead, probably more of a recent one. I don't know if he's still doing it, but you can go to tv.winelibrary.com and you can check out all the 1,000 episodes that he's done, 1,001 episodes he's done of Wine Library TV, especially if you're into wine, or wanting to get into wine. It's a very it just really makes it really easy to understand and get into what the fuck people are doing when they're sniffing and tasting and all this kind of stuff. Just makes it more palatable for the mass audiences, which makes sense because he was selling wine. And the best way to sell wine is to know everything. To sell anything is to be completely educated on it and to talk about it with passion, which he did. And it was just, really simple production. I mean, it was just him at a table, usually with his, wrestling toys and other toys and things, which if you see him in his office now, it's basically the same setup. And he would just, sit and try a couple wines and taste them and tell you about them. And then you could go buy them. It was a really simple formula. Some people might call it content marketing, where, the main goal was to bring traffic to his website. Kind of one of the reasons why I started podcasting is that I need people to go see my artwork on my website, inspireddisorder.com. So I'm going to do this show, although it's not about art. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to do a show about art. It's such an internal thing for me. It's not something that, I can express or talk about in any length that would be able to fill a show. I do the shows that I do about things that I love in addition to art that are related to art in a lot of ways, as far as being creative and being new and trying new things and taking chances. Like Brody Stephen, take chances with what you do, because there are no rules. Just because somebody's figured out something doesn't mean it's the only way to do something. And that's what I love. And that's what I love about Gary Vee and the books that he put out and everything that he's doing. He's just one of those people that I look up to and that I follow advice from. And it's just, a big part of my journey as a podcaster, as an artist, is to see the guys like Gary Vee or Kevin Rose or Tim Ferriss, and to see where they were at over a decade ago and the humble beginnings that they started with compared to where they are now. And very, very inspiring, and I definitely am on more of the scenic route as far as financial success goes. But I definitely am enjoying life far more, devoting it and my time to doing the things that I love to do, which I believe is another thing that Gary really pushes, is for people to follow their passion. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Gary Vee, and I appreciate everybody that watches this show. New episodes of this show come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. inspireddisorder.com for all of my artwork and other podcasts that I've produced over the years. At Ray Taylor for me on all social media. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!